Botswana's relationship with South Africa is a long and multifaceted one. Our predecessors have developed strong economic links between the two countries, dating as far back as the year 1910, when we signed the Southern African Customs Union, or SACU. And I was asking Honorable Minister Mepando, who signed this from Botswana? 1910. Certainly we were not yet Botswana. We were Bechuana land. Certainly it wasn't the Dikhosi. It must have been the resident commissioners. It is encouraging to note generations later that we are still committed to maintaining and fostering these links, which of course continues to evolve in the face of emerging opportunities and challenges. Botswana Investment and Trade Center, together with the Department of Trade and Industry of the Republic of South Africa, have facilitated this business forum. This is to allow for intimate engagements amongst businesses, tradesmen and tradeswomen here present, so as to share learnings on the doing business. And this forum will focus on key sectors, namely agriculture, mining and mineral beneficiation, light industry, and automotive component manufacturing. These sectors are not only important for the two countries, but certainly for Botswana, as they align well with His Excellency the State President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Kiabetsu Masisi's priorities in the reset agenda, value chain development. These are to assist Botswana to vertically integrate into the SACU regional value chains, as well as the continental and eventually the global value chains. Director of Ceremonies, ladies and gentlemen, it is common knowledge that South Africa is Botswana's major trading partner. And I think this is due to the geographical proximity of our two countries to each other. In addition, since Botswana is most of our imports transit through South Africa, and furthermore, both of our countries belong to the same customs union, which subscribes to the free movement of goods, the free movement of services. This has attributed to such high levels of trade. Through this arrangement, both Botswana and South Africa have managed to negotiate and secure favorable markets that include those under the SACU, those under SADC, those under the European Union SADC Economic Partnership Agreement, those under the United Kingdom SACU plus Mozambique Economic Partnership Agreement, as well as the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. It is therefore incumbent upon us, the business community, to seize the opportunity today to build on existing and to open new avenues of business to export your products to these markets. Furthermore, I am reliably informed that over the years, BITC have entered into memoranda of understanding with several provincial investment promotion agencies in the Republic of South Africa. It is important that these MOUs are operationalized to accelerate trade and investment linkages between the two countries.
I wish on behalf of my colleague, Minister Ibrahim Patel, to join Minister Khafela in extending a warm welcome to you all to the Botswana-South Africa Business Forum, which forms part of our celebrations of 28 years of trade, investment, and diplomatic relations between our two countries. The Ministry of Trade and Industry of Botswana and that of South Africa, as Minister Khafela has indicated, have put together this important forum, and they are to be commended for this effort, which I believe will lead to even greater economic and business collaboration between our countries. We're absolutely thrilled that the Roundtable tomorrow will be presided over by our respective heads of state, and that further illustrates the importance that our governments attach to this forum. As you all know, South Africa and Botswana share a special relationship as neighbors in a region that fought a common struggle against colonialism and oppression. During the celebrations this week, we would like to honor, as South Africa, the contribution of Botswana to the liberation struggle of South Africa. And we thank the people of Botswana for their assistance during a very difficult period in our history. Many South Africans passed through Botswana during the struggle for liberation. And in October, we will mark and celebrate the 60th anniversary of the ANC Lobatse Conference, which was the first ANC conference held outside of South Africa in 1962, right here in Botswana. During the early 1960s, a number of South Africans crossed the border into Botswana in order to escape the brutal oppression of the apartheid regime. Ndate Nelson Mandela, Ndate Thabo Mbeki, Mr. Ronnie Kasrils, Ambassador Musi Mula are just some of the comrades who escaped the security police dragnet and sought refuge in Botswana. Our comrades were housed by citizens of this country, oftentimes in the home of Ndate Comrade Fish Kitsing, who in the early years hid Mr. Mandela in the mountains. Madiba would spend his days reading and at night come down from the mountains to the home of Ndate Kitsing. Botswana also played a significant role in helping comrades from our liberation movement to cross the border from Botswana into other countries. And mark this, not once did the police of Botswana hand our comrades back to the apartheid police. I remember my father telling me about his conversation when he was sent to meet Sasireta Khama to discuss the possibility of ANC cadres coming through into Botswana. And at that time, His Excellency said, of course, we recognize the struggle for freedom, and we're a small country, but we will do all we can to be of assistance. So we would like to use this opportunity to thank the Botswana for their contribution to our struggle. I'm told that a diverse array of events will take place this week as part of the celebration and recalibration of our trade relationship. We begin with this two-day business forum, which intends to strengthen business-to-business linkages with the intention of facilitating trade and investment, as well as possible joint venture partnerships. Batho ba Botswana sometimes le ipela morago ga le rata go bua thata, but this is an opportunity for networking and partnerships. Use it to maximum effect. So the forum will see the Botswana private sector engage with South African counterparts in roundtable sessions and business-to-business meetings. We look forward to the trade expo that will be held over the next 2 days. I'm really thrilled that there is the notion that we shall hold this forum annually. And I look forward to the trade exhibition and forum being held in South Africa next year. We hope that the roundtable discussions will provide our heads of state with an opportunity to have in-depth engagements on issues affecting trade and investment relations between the two countries through their conversation with strategic and select business leaders from both countries. What we hope for is an improved economic relationship anchored by strategic investments in each other's economies and collaborative solutions for regional growth. I saw that there was someone here, the leadership of the Independent Development Corporation of South Africa. They've got a lot of money. Use them to give you loans. Botswana benefits from regional economic integration and the facilitation of duty-free movement of goods with a common external tariff on goods entering any of the countries from outside the SACU. Such benefits and positive bilateral economic relations make engagements such as this forum vital for our countries. We really would like to support implementation of the SACU regional value chain, as well as be the key catalyst as the two countries of implementation of the goals of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Part of our discussions will explore cooperation in mining and minerals beneficiation, which we believe are key pillars of Botswana and South Africa's industrialization policy. I'm hopeful that the deliberations will go beyond exchanges into practical action. As Africans, we can no longer be satisfied with shipping out our natural resources. We must value add on African soil. And this is something we must find a clear way of doing. We also intend to look at ways to enhance automotive component manufacturing, which will contribute to job creation in both our countries. All of us know that tourism was hard hit in our countries due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And we believe that together we can develop sustainable strategies to revitalize our tourism industry, which is such an important job creator. Both our countries, of course, are significant agricultural economic actors, and so we could benefit from a well-structured strategic agricultural exchange. Botswana has abundant fertile land, and yet it imports a lot of the food it consumes. This is a trend across a great part of our continent, which we can all work together to address so that we can produce more of what we require without importing from beyond our shores. I'm sure all of you recall that when the first vaccines were produced against COVID-19, as Africa, we were at the end of the queue. Now, we've got the food insecurity threat, of the Russia-Ukraine war. And again, we're at the end of the queue. Our business sector has got to bring these problems to an end. We must be at the front of the queue because we have self-sufficiency and resilience. We don't have to rely on anybody except ourselves. So the time to act is now. Let's stop being at the back of the queue. If we have proper discussions and clear plans, we could do much more on ensuring we produce sufficient animal feed, that we are able to process fruit in our countries, as well as produce sufficient vegetables and fertilizers. If we are to take stock of our trade relations in recent years, it's very clear that our two countries maintain a very robust trade relationship which has strengthened despite the pandemic. South African exports to Botswana were at 64 billion last year, and South Africa remains Botswana's #1 source of imports. Botswana is South Africa's 7th largest export market. Since the hosting of the first Binational Commission in 2013, we have had 38 MOUs signed between South Africa and Botswana. And we are very pleased that we've recently held a long-standing appointment, which was the BNC, and have explored and agreed on further areas of cooperation. We've agreed as the Binational Commission of Botswana and South Africa that we have massive room for future growth in the areas of outward investment, the creation of industrial value chains, and indeed on infrastructure development to ensure that the Continental Free Trade Area is implemented. So let us capitalize on this opportunity to come together and build new bridges of cooperation for the future, as our prosperity depends on the economic successes that we achieve together. I look forward to you making it happen. Thank you very much.